Hey everybody, today is a Thursday and sadly we've already had our Christmas Junction, so that means we won't be having Junction tonight and we'll see you guys in January, but for now, I miss you already. So a big part of my Christmas and everybody's Christmas, I think, is getting gifts for their loved ones. For me, I am not a gift giver, so that's particularly hard, but I always know that when I find a gift that somebody is going to love, I get so excited, but I have to keep it a secret. I have to hide it from them, and the idea of keeping something that's so fun that they're going to love a secret is really hard. I want to talk about it and I want to share and I want to be able to laugh about it and give details and explain what the process was like. I know this was particularly hard when I was a kid. I would help my grandma wrap all of her Christmas gifts for the grandkids except for my own. And so I would know everybody's Christmas gifts way ahead of time. And so having to keep it to myself but stay excited was always really difficult. And I think that entire concept reminds me a lot of what it must have been like for Zechariah. So if you have time, pause, go read Luke 1 through 25 really fast. If not, I'm gonna wrap it up and summarize really quick. But so Zechariah and his wife Elizabeth, they couldn't have children and they had prayed so hard, but by a miracle, an angel came and told Zechariah that their prayer would be answered. They would have a son and they would call him John. While this is such exciting news, to sum up some of the story, Zechariah had a lot of questions and had some doubt in the moment and ultimately ended up not being able to talk about any of it. So that means, well, actually for the entire pregnancy, he wasn't able to say anything. He wasn't able to talk about how the angel came and how the Lord was going to answer this promise and answer this prayer in such a beautiful way. And he couldn't share any of that great news. That would be so hard for me. Now, if you fast forward to the end of that story, we're looking at Luke 1. If you can, like I said, pause, read verses 57 through 66. But Elizabeth gives birth and they have a beautiful son named John and they're rejoicing about this miracle. They're so excited. They're all asking, what's the name of the baby gonna be? And Zechariah is desperate to tell them. He is trying to signal, he's trying to talk to them. And finally he grabs a tablet to write it out and tell them what the angel directed, which is that his name would be John. As soon as he does that, his mouth is open and he is suddenly able to speak. He tells them the story of how an angel came, how the Lord is being faithful and is finally able to share such incredible news. And sort of the challenge of what does that mean for us right now in this Christmas season? What does it look like to be that excited and ready to share? What does it look like to have the story of how joyful this time is, of how meaningful it is for our faith and for our future? What does it look like to be ready to share? What are you telling people what this season means for your faith? Are you talking about the way that you're getting to celebrate the Lord throughout the season, whether that's going to church, spending time with friends, or with family? The biggest thing I would encourage is take that time to share. Don't waste it. Don't waste the opportunity when we have words where our mouths are very free to talk. What does it look like to share about what this means and ultimately live out the Great Commission and share the gospel, share what this means for right now and ultimately how it is such a life changer for our future that Jesus is here. If this is scary for you, I encourage you to spend some time in prayer. Just be reminded that the God that we serve is a God of rest and peace, and he will guide those words in that moment. But also practice with your friends or write it out. If you're a writer, that may be a lot easier, but ultimately be intentional with your time. I'm gonna try and be intentional with mine and try and be ready to share with the people that we love. Hope you guys are doing wonderful and Merry Christmas.